100 years ago, Chevrolet sprang bolt by bolt, car by car, out of the very best America had to offer. Ingenuity, integrity, optimism, and a belief that the finest things are the most thoughtfully made, not the most expensive. Today, the American character is no less strong, and Chevrolet continues as an expression of the best of it, bringing more technology to more people than ever in our history, inventing new ways to get around our planet while preserving it at the same time, exploring new horizons of design and power, and making our vehicles amongst the safest on Earth. This isn't just any car company. This is Chevrolet, and the strength of our nation can be found in every car and truck we make. It's why today, tomorrow, and on into a bright future, we can proudly say, Chevy runs deep.
I'm Mary Lou Prentice, and I've just bought my, I think, 19th or 20th Chevrolet Equinox from Carter Chevrolet, which I always get wonderful service. And they better give me wonderful service because, you know, I've known the family for many, many years. And when I traded in my 54 Chevy, Mr. Carter said it was sold to a person on Porter Street. And I said, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yes." I told him that a little old lady owned it and she only drove it on Sunday. And that's what sold the car.
I'm Tom Duff. I did 54 years of that 75 years. I started off in 1953 as a salesman selling trucks. I had to be out on the road every morning and see businesses, and that was a great experience because I met more people by being out on the road and then coming in the afternoon and sell cars in the afternoon. I became a manager in 1962, used car manager, and was interested in buying used cars and trucks for the dealership. And we were on this location, that's where we first opened up the used car lot. And then I was promoted to vice president around 72, I believe. I did a lot of public work too. I mean, we had the Soapbox Derby. We also had the Civic Center show. We had one of the largest shows that Chevrolet puts on at the Civic Center, which was great. In 1955, we even had a car show at the Armory. And that was a great deal because we hid the cars during the promotion and brought them out in September and had them all at the Armory. Then we also had the Junior Miss Pageant, which one of our girls went all the way to, I believe it was North Carolina, for the final show.
Congratulations to 75 years at Carter Chevrolet. They've been in business for quite some time. I've kind of been around the place all my life. My father worked here for 54 years, and I actually started here when I was 16. My first job here was to clean windows on used cars. My father was in charge of the used car department, and let me tell you, they were never clean enough. He was a perfectionist, and to this day, he's still the same. You might have heard him in his speech a little earlier. But like I said, I've been around this place all my life. I've worked in the body shop. I've worked in parts for 5 years, and I'm in sales. I never thought I'd be a car salesman, but I followed my father's footsteps. Been in sales for about 7 years, and I really enjoy it. It's something I never thought I would, but it's quite a bit of fun. It's nice to see somebody get that good feeling about buying a new car or a used car and having them smiling and be happy and get hugs. There's nothing better, and that's the way we like it around here at Carter Chevrolet. Everybody happy. As long as everybody's happy, we're happy, and customer satisfaction is number one.
I'm Ron Sloan. I've been a sales and leasing consultant here at Carter Chevrolet for a little more than 12 years now. But my association with the dealership really goes back considerably further than that. My older brother Bob was a salesperson here from 1964 to 1977. Back in those days, of course, the salesmen all drove new Chevrolets as demonstrators, or what we call demos. And I used to look forward to riding in Bob's demo, and he'd point out the latest features and benefits of the new Chevrolets. And occasionally I'd stop by the showroom and visit him here, and he'd have perhaps a poster for me of a new Corvette or something to put up in my bedroom wall. And so early on I developed quite an affinity for Chevrolets. And I can think of a couple occasions in particular over the years. I was a student up here at the Lincoln School back in, it's been probably about 1967, and one day we were waiting on the schoolyard for rides to take us home, and you know, a couple of kids' parents pulled in old station wagons or sedans, and my brother was picking me up that day, and he pulled in a brand new 1968 Camaro, crocus yellow, or was it canary yellow, I think we called it back then, and with a black vinyl top, and the car was just gorgeous. And of course I was maybe a pretty popular fellow that day, you know, driving away in the Camaro. Was such a cool car. On another occasion, you know, Bob, knowing that I loved Corvettes, as all the boys did back in those days, he came to my house in a brand new Corvette, took me for a ride in that, and I got to say that was quite a thrill. A number of years later, I was going to my senior prom at my high school, and my brother and Tom Duff arranged for me to sign out my brother's demo, which was a brand new Impala Custom, and that was just a beautiful automobile. And I took that to my prom, hoping to impress my prom date. I'm not sure how well I did in that regard, but that's one of my fond memories. But fast forwarding a number of years later, I was working in downtown Hartford in a upscale men's clothing store, and Steve Carter walked in, and we had a chance meeting there. I hadn't seen him in years and barely recognized him, in fact, but we got chatting, and one thing led to another, and you know, I came on board here about 12 years ago, and it's been quite an experience.
Hi, my name is Larry Gemaitis. I'm representing the Vintage Chevrolet Club of America, Southern New England region. And our connection to Carter Chevrolet is that originally, back in 1968, Art Shorts, who was the founder of the club, was a salesman here at Carter Chevrolet. And Walt Carter Jr. came into agreement with Art to sponsor an all Chevrolet show here at Carter Chevrolet. And that tradition is carried on with Steve Carter as our sponsor, and we have now been holding 32 years here in a row at Carter Chevrolet in April. And in conjunction with that, again, this year, Chevrolet is celebrating its 100th anniversary, and this is also the 75th anniversary of Carter.
Hi, I'm Shirley Zwick. I'm one of the old-time employees of Carter Chevrolet. I started working here back in 1951 when I was a senior in high school, and my business teacher asked me if I was interested in a part-time job. And I just never left. When I started working at Carter's, we were at the other end of Main Street, and we had the Buick dealer on one side of us and Dillon Ford on the other side of us, and we were in between. The office was in the little house next door, and there was just Harlow Willis, who was the office manager, and myself. And it was really one of the best times of my life working here. Things have changed over the years. Of course, everything today is computerized, and I'm not a big computer person. When we did it, everything was written by hand. All the accounting was done by hand. And I remember one night a month we had to get together and handwrite all the statements and the bills and stuff them into envelopes and hand mail them out. So that took time. A lot of the old-timers have gone that I worked with, but there's still a lot of good people here. When I started working here, there was just Mr. Carter Sr. and Vincent Borgini were the ones that sold cars. We never had a used car lot. It was just whatever car a person traded in when they were buying a new car. And then when Mr. Carter was getting ready to retire, his son Walter Carter Jr. was coming. But he proved to be a wonderful person to work for. He was a friend to everyone. Whenever anyone had a problem, from the salesman, the mechanics, anyone, if you went to Walt, he found a way or knew someone that could help you with your problem. And then when he was getting on, he brought his son Steve into the business. And Steve has taken over and gone through some rough times in the automotive business and has proved to be a real leader and take charge person, and has proved to his worth in the company. Other than that, I'm retired, of course, and enjoying my grandchildren and not doing much of anything. So the cars have changed, the techniques have changed since I was here, and I'm not a person for change. I was married to the same man for 60 years. I lived in the same house for almost 60 years, and I worked for one company, Carter Chevrolet, for almost 50 years. But I think when you find a good thing, you stick with it.
Congratulations to Carter Chevrolet on their 75th anniversary. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to both Chevrolet and Carter's. It's been an interesting life and a good life for me. Thank you.
It's great to be associated with Carter Chevrolet, and I wish them a real happy birthday.
I want to wish Carter Chevrolet a happy 75th birthday. I think that's quite an accomplishment. So again, happy birthday, and Carter's the best.
I want to wish Carter Chevrolet a happy 75th anniversary and many more years to come.
Just want to say happy birthday and congratulations to 75 years at Carter Chevrolet. There's a lot of people that have worked here for a long time, and there's a reason for that, because they're treated well. And we bring that on to our customers, and we treat them the same way. It's a big family, and it's definitely a great place to work, and I'll probably be here till I'm 65, or hopefully not 54 years like my dad, because I have to be here until I was 80, but I'll be here for a while, I hope, and we'll see what happens.
I want to wish a happy birthday to Chevrolet for 100 years and 75 years for Carter Chevrolet. 75 good years.